police have been systematically abusing black men in this country for literally hundreds of years. And the former Baltimore officer who I did an interview with, that still rings in my ears, where he's white, and he said, even if they put us into white areas, we had to get a quota of arrests. We didn't want to arrest white people because they could turn out to be powerful. We'd always go to the black neighborhoods, no matter where you were assigned, and just arrest people. Who cares? You got to make the quota because it's part of your job. And he said, did you think all black people in this country were lying all this time? No. We abuse them. And it's partly because of racism, partly because they have no power. And so that's the reality of America. And the only people who deny it are the ones who kind of like that reality and don't want to get woken up to it. And they just want to say, hey, look, let the cops do what they're going to do. We need cops and law and order. And then whenever you do law and order on somebody on their side and go, hey, maybe Trump or one of his cronies should be arrested for their corruption, instead of going, no, we don't want law and order. Oh, I see. So you just wanted to be able to brutalize minorities in this country and not be discomforted by it. And that's what you hired the cops to do. So that's just the reality of America. This is one of the hundreds of cases we've covered alone, let alone all the ones that are out there. That when they attack black people after they've been murdered, when they did absolutely nothing wrong, you're pushing us to the limit. And what do I mean by that? You're asking us to talk about history, the history of the South. This is in Georgia. What happened in Georgia? There were savages in Georgia. It was the ancestors of the white right-wingers. They were absolute savages. They murdered people. They lynched people. They raped people. They enslaved people. They took babies from their mothers and sold them as property. You want to talk about savages? Your ancestors were the biggest savages the world has ever seen. So don't you dare call a black man a savage after you murdered him. Don't you dare do that. I'm so sick of African Americans being called violent when the world's worst violence was done to them, not by them, to them, not by them. For God's sake, you want to do racist stereotypes? If it fit anywhere, and it doesn't. But if it fit anywhere, it would certainly fit white right-wingers in the South, who has hundreds of years of history of being savages. Savages! They snatched babies, and they sold them as property, and they raped their mothers. Savages! That's what they were. You want to talk about stereotypes? Screw all of you who still defend that Confederacy. That monstrosity. Anyone who defends that is a barbaric savage.
President Trump declaring he's ordered a review of the Smithsonian museums and the American history on display. The president targeting what he calls woke exhibits, saying museums should focus more on America's, quote, brightness and not on, quote, how bad slavery was. Here's ABC's chief Washington correspondent, John Carl.
Tonight, President Trump announced he has instructed his lawyers to scour through America's museums to rid them of exhibits he calls woke. Specifically, Trump cited the Smithsonian museums, saying they are, quote, out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Back in March, the president signed an executive order directing the Smithsonian Institution, which runs more than 20 museums in Washington and elsewhere, to, quote, celebrate American exceptionalism and remove divisive or partisan narratives. Last month, the Smithsonian removed references to Trump in an exhibit on presidential impeachments in the Museum of American History. Mentions of Trump's impeachments were later restored, although with changes. Now he's complaining about exhibits on slavery.
What do you think of the museum,
Honestly, during his first term, Trump visited the Museum of African American History and Culture, which tells the story of slavery and celebrates African American accomplishments. Back then, he called it a, quote, truly great museum done with love.
This tour was a meaningful reminder of why we have to fight bigotry, intolerance, and hatred in all of its very ugly forms.
Even before Trump's comments today, the American Alliance of Museums said that no president has the power to impose the kind of review that Trump is demanding. The organization warned that Trump's actions, quote, represent a growing threat of censorship to museums in the United States.
This is how police have been systematically abusing black men in this country for literally hundreds of years. And the former Baltimore officer who I did an interview with, that still rings in my ears, where he's white and he said, even if they put us into white areas, we had to get a quota of arrests. We didn't want to arrest white people because they could turn out to be powerful. We'd always go to the black neighborhoods, no matter where you were assigned, and just arrest people. Who cares? You got to make the quota because it's part of your job. And he said, did you think all black people in this country were lying all this time? No. We abuse them. And it's partly because of racism, partly because they have no power. And so that's the reality of America. And the only people who deny it are the ones who kind of like that reality and don't want to get woken up to it. And they just want to say, hey, look, let the cops do what they're going to do. We need cops and law and order. And then whenever you do law and order on somebody on their side and go, hey, maybe Trump or one of his cronies should be arrested for their corruption, instead of going, no, we don't want law and order. Oh, I see. So you just wanted to be able to brutalize minorities in this country and not be discomforted by it. And that's what you hire the cops to do. So that's just the reality of America. This is one of the hundreds of cases we've covered alone, let alone all the ones that are out there that.
Shalom to the Lord's elect. Job chapter 20 verse 27. It says, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. And who's the world rising up against? The world is rising up against Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white men. This is what the Lord is doing. But we know that the Lord brought all these calamities, all these plagues upon us through the hands of Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man. Whatever he does, he's trying to project it on you. So he will call you savages, right? But meanwhile, he is the one raping your children. He's the one poisoning your food. He's the one bringing the guns into your community. Don't get me wrong, Jake is wicked, but the Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man is responsible for every family, every diseases, every chaos, everything that is happening is being done under this man's rulership. Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man. The Lord says that earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And we've been saying that there is no reason for you to plant an orange tree and 3 months later you are picking apple. No, the Lord said you shall know them by their fruit. That's right. The Lord planted a wicked seed. That's right. So the fruit that's going to come out of that seed eventually is going to be pure evil. Shalom to the Lord again. Let's begin this lesson by giving honor and glory to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Let's give double honors to our head apostles, the elders, the bishops, out of the great millstone that taught us this truth. And salutations, peace to the tabernacle of David, the 144,000, followed by the large multitude, men, women, children, whom our King, our Redeemer, Yahawashi, is going to have mercy upon. Family, I pray that this message find all of you in perfect peace. That's why we are at the end of this man's kingdom. That is why everything is falling apart. Everybody's rising up against Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white men. And yes, let's get right. Oh yes, this is our beloved brother, Arrows of Indignation 144. Subscribe to this brother's page. Always bringing out family beautiful videos, man. Beautiful video pop up on my screen. I figured, you know what, I was going to do something else, but you know what, I said, let me just bring this out just to show you that the Lord is moving. The Lord is showing the whole world that this man here, the self-proclaimed white man, is the cancer of the world. And that's who the Lord is coming to judge. And the 2/3 of our people are going to receive it. Because why? They didn't take heed to this message. But let's go on. These things are normal for this guy here. I wanted to go into the book of, let's go here. What do I have up? Let me go to Psalm chapter 37. Let's hit few precepts here. Psalm 37. And the Lord says here, for Psalm 37 verse 9. For evildoers shall be what? Shall be cut off. But those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. Hear that? The evildoers will be cut off. Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white men. The Lord says they are about to be cut off. It says here, the wicked, verse 2, it said, the wicked plotteth against the just. Who are the just? The Israelite. That's what they've been doing. Killing, pillaging, destroying your community, turning your women against you. That's right, through the movies, through all this legislation that they pass, through feminism, everything that this man promote, which Eve loves. The black woman, the so-called black woman, he loved Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man. But she's about to find out very, very quickly who this man is truly is about. He's about to find, over the years, the fact that this man raped Eve. And that's right, his children, took Eve's children, took the kids from Eve, right? Eve still in love with what? Self-proclaimed white men. But he's about to show his true one. But let's stay on point here. The wicked plotted against the just and gnashed upon what? Upon him what? With his teeth. But the Lord Yahawah shall laugh at him, for he see that his days is coming. Esau's days are coming. I want to jump to here. So when it comes to killing, starving, pillaging, raping, torturing, this thing here goes all the way back. What I thought I have it here. Let me go. What is it? Do I have Maccabees? What they did to our women, when it was the beginning of what? Esau's kingdom, starting with Alexander the Great, when that wicked ruler Antiochus moved into Jerusalem, Judea, when the Maccabees brothers stood up against him. This is what happened. Do I have it up? I don't have it up. Let me see here. I thought I had it. Do I have Maccabees? Yeah, First Maccabee chapter 1. First Maccabee 1:59. And family, this is now the 5 and the 20th day of the month. They did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God. This is when they moved in. And they told us they destroyed the temple. And they started building idol temples. And that's why they started offering what? Swine flesh on the altar. Yes, that's what Esau did to us. Swine flesh, and forcing people not to circumcise their children. That's right. This is what they did. Let's go back. Let me see if I can start from. Let me see. Where can I start here? So what the man says in that clip, family, he said a lot of things. But now we know. We know. We are at peace now because we know the Lord punished. We know. But this man, he is about to receive his judgment. At one point, Esau, Edom family, we thought this man was somebody special. But they are the savages. They call the Northern Kingdom the so-called Native Indians, Native Americans. They are the savages. No, Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man. He is the savage. This is his record. This is what he says. Let's start. Let me jump because I'm going to jump through this. Hear what Antiochus said. This letter. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem. That's what we always say. In order to understand Apostle Paul's writing, the difference between the Jew and the Greek. This is the beginning stages of it. Maccabee, the book of Maccabee tells you why Apostle Paul was sent to the Israelites that were following Greek customs. Okay? This book has always been about the Israelites. They lost their way. Over time, family, when you lose your name and then you adopt somebody's custom, generation upon generation, you lose who you are. You become that nation. That's what happened to us. Listen to this. The king, who's the king? Antiochus. It said, let's say, moreover, King Antiochus. Let me read a bit here. First Maccabee chapter 1 verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should what? Be one people. That's the same thing they're trying to do right now. They tried in Genesis chapter 11, right? Talking about what? The Tower of Babel. Everybody come. Let's build a tower. That's right. Now they build a technological tower, which is going to involve you taking a microchip. So everybody's going to be on the grid. And we are telling you never, ever, ever, ever to take that chip when it comes. that the Lord is coming to destroy these people. Their memories are about to be wiped off the face of the earth. But let's go on here. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. You listening? And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agree according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of what? The Israelites. You hear that? The Israelites. We had our laws, statutes, and commandments. The Israelite consented to this, his religion. Whose religion? Esau's kingdom, Esau's religion, Antiochus. What is it? It's going to tell you. And sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath. Are you following? Let's continue. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. You hear that? Forget what the Lord Moses gave us. No, forget that. Now Antiochus, the same thing Esau is about to do right now. Bringing what? His technological and microchip, telling you that no, now he's going to put his stamp on you. The Bible says there's no new thing under the sun. It said, for the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should what? Follow the strange, hear that? Strange laws, because this is not what we are used to. Strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offering and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should what? Profane the Sabbath and festival days. They get rid of it. Now, that's why you have to follow me. You have to worship me, Esau, Edom. And pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine flesh and unclean beasts. That's what they did to us. It gets better. Listen to this. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised. You hear that? This is what happened to us. They said there's no difference between the Jew and the Greek because why? They're both Israelites. They are not the nations. The nations have nothing to do with our salvation. The reason why we became the Greek is because of this stupid idiot. That's how we lost our way. That's why we don't even deal with Christians. Christians are so stupid. Your mother, your sister, those people that still wake up and go into the church, don't even engage them. They are retarded. Our family members are retarded. They're never going to get it. They're going to continue to follow Esau, Edom until the missiles arrive. It's that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. That is how we lost our way. That's why Apostle Paul was saying all to across Asia to bring us back. Now it was based on what? Faith, believing in Yahawashi. And also trying to keep the laws to the best of our abilities. Because Yahawashi died for me, so now I'm going to eat pork chops? No. I show my faith by believing, showing appreciation for the sacrifice that Yahawashi made for us. To trying to do the best that I can. Every day I woke up, I said, Lord, let me do what is right before you. That's what we pray for. It said to the end, they might forget the law. You hear that? That's what they did. That's what they're about to do again. They're about to put microchip in you and tell you that it's okay. Follow me. I am God. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3. That's when the son of perdition and the son of sin will be revealed. He is the son of sin. Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man, is the son of sin, the son of perdition, destruction. It says to the end, they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. That's exactly what happened. We lost our ways. We started following, eating swine flesh, Christmas, celebrating birthday, anniversary, all type of nonsense. These are all the customs of the Greek. These are all the customs of the Greek. This had nothing to do with us. But guess what? They were threatened with their life. Listen to what he says. To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And listen to what he says. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. That's exactly what happened. And people were they didn't want to die. So what do you think they did? That's right. They started following the Greek customs. They stopped what? Circumcising their sons. They stopped what? That's right, following the laws. They started eating swine flesh. That is why they became what? Filthy. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law. Listen to this. Anyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even whosoever they could flee for protection. So some of our brothers and sisters, they fled. Some went and lived in the wilderness. But I want to jump to here. Verse 60. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised, and they hanged the infant. You see that? Talking about savage, Esau, Edom. They said they hanged the infant. You hear that? That's what Esau did. And the same thing he did when he met the northern kingdom, when Christopher Columbus came here. They were killing, slaughtering our people, our brothers and sisters. This is this man's history that nobody talks about. They're never going to bring this out in the church. It says at that time, according to what? According to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. And they raped some of the women too. This is the history of Esau, Edom, and the boys, because this man here is into little boys. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore, they rather to die. That is exactly what we are about to face. When this devil shows up with his microchip, what are you going to do? Because the Bible repeats the same thing's about to happen right now. Because what? He wants his new world order where everybody will be one under what? His microchip. What are you going to do? Are you going to have the mindset of what? The woman in the same chapter, actually no, Second Maccabee chapter 5. No, I think chapter 6. The woman did what? That's why he says, listen, I'd rather die. He saw this the Greek soldiers family torture her 7 sons. The 7 sons died in front. Her 7 sons died in front of her. Because what? She refused to eat swine flesh. And here now we have Jake, proud, out there eating all type of abominable food. And you are not ashamed. Our forefathers, our foremothers, they die. Holding on to their integrity. That's right. Because they know that this is not life. They know that they will come back again. That's the mindset that we should be in. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved. This is the mindset. Resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Meaning what? You are not going to take the chip. Wherefore, they rather to die that they might not be defiled with meat and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. And there was very great wrath upon Israel. That's right. Now you understand why Apostle Paul have to go across and bring back what? Those Israelites that were following Greek customs. Hat, gem, all these things are not our customs. So yeah, you are looking at the savage. So listen to what Trump says. There's something that let me go to this, but let's go here. This is what we are looking forward to. Let's go to the book of Job 18, verse 18. It said, they will be driven out of the land of the living. This is Good News Translation. He said, they who Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white men, they will be driven out of the land of the living, driven from light into darkness. It said, they have no descendants, no survivors. It said, from east to west, all who hear of their fate shudder and tremble with fear. That is the fate of evil people, the fate of those who care nothing for the Most High. Yeah, listen to Trump's comment yesterday. Netanyahu is a war hero, Trump said. This man is openly committing genocide. Family, they are starving children to death. You see, your president, the president of the United States, called Netanyahu a war hero. That's why the Bible said they are not in trouble like others. Now you know why the Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, is not going to have mercy on Edom. Self-proclaimed white men. That is why this, listen to what Moses told us. Let's go to Deuteronomy 25:17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way when ye were come forth out of Egypt. This is what Moses is reminding us. What these devils did to our people. The elderly and the children at the back. They attack us from the back. Amalek did it. The small heart, the big nose people today. That's right. Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white man, because Amalek is what? The grandson of what? Esau. The same bloodline. Yes. Listen to what Moses said. It said how he met thee by the way, and smote the hindermost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee. When thou was faint and weary, we were tired, and these devils attack us. And he feared not the Most High. Hear that? Verse 28. No. Verse 19. Deuteronomy 25:19. Therefore it shall be when the Lord Yahawah, this is what is coming, Yahawah Rawchaa, the Lord Yahawah thy power have given thee rest from all thine enemies round about. That's what is coming. Hear what it says next. In the land which the Lord Yahawah thy power giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek. The small heart, the Lord says their memory is going to be wiped off the face of this earth. That's what is coming for this devil, for everything that these devils have done to Israel. That's right. The Lord said we're going to remember it. The Lord says what? That what? Thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek. And from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it. You hear that? This is a commandment that is about to be fulfilled. Obadiah 1:18. The praise comes as the Israeli Prime Minister faces severe criticism over starvation and continual hostilities in Gaza. This is what your president, the president of the United States, just said. Now you know why the Lord says America, right? America is going to be a desert. And family, every day, that's what we are waiting for. We are waiting for the Lord to set this place on fire. And that time is fast approaching. That's why the Lord keeps telling us that suffer patiently. The Lord is reminding us that what? Suffer patiently. I am coming. Trust me, the Lord is not a man that should lie. He says the word that goes out of his mouth will not return to him void. But the Lord is going to remember everything that these devils have done to us. That's why the Lord is raising up the Russians. To destroy these devils. They are about to kill each other in World War III. And that is what we are looking forward to. And it can't come fast enough for us. The U.S. President Donald Trump has called Benjamin Netanyahu, let's let that sink in, a war hero. Family, you see what is coming, the images coming out of Gaza? With children holding pots, little bowls, lining up for soup. And they are shooting them in the head, in the groin, in their penis. Like this, the family is almost like a targeting, target practice. Yes, I can't even get the word out. I am so furious. Sometimes, you know what? Anyway, I gotta calm myself down. Yeah. The wickedness of Esau, Edom, self-proclaimed white men. It's unreal. It's just beyond. It's like it can't get any worse than this. It can't. It really can't. Yeah. He's showing his true colors. Because why? Now this is it. And that's why, family, they are going to have it. They're going to have the hardest time in the kingdom of heaven. Oh, they're all going. And Trump said what? He wants to go to heaven. Trump said it. He's going to be in heaven, all right. Yeah. Hardcore captivity. Everybody's going to be in heaven. But they're going to be, that's right, slavery. They are the top crop of slaves. Trump and his family members. That's right. They are the elite. Yes, they are going to be the first crops of slaves if they've survived this destruction. That's what is coming for them. U.S. President Donald Trump has called Benjamin Netanyahu a war hero as the Israeli Prime Minister faces a global backlash over the Gaza humanitarian crisis and the Jewish state's continued military campaign in Palestine enclave. In an interview with the conservative commentator Mark Levin, another small hat, on Tuesday, Trump called Netanyahu a good man who he said is there fighting. That's what he said. Who he said is there fighting. He's a war hero. I guess I am too. But nobody cares. I send those planes there. He said, yeah, I send those planes. Yeah. Because what? Without America's supply of weapons and planes, yeah, this man will not continue committing genocide, Holocaust, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, he's doing it. But Trump is telling you that he's the one doing it. He's telling you he's sending the weapons to go there to commit genocide. You see, and these people will turn around and call you savage. They will turn around and call you savage. Say, he's a war hero. I guess I am too. But nobody cares. I, Donald Trump, send those planes. The U.S. president added, referring to American strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities in June. Man, Lord, how much longer do we have to bear this, Yeah, that's what he said. Let me see if I can get a precept here. Let's go to Psalm 73. It said, truly the Most High is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My step had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish. That was us at one point. We said there's no way these people can be continue to do all this wickedness and they are not judged. We were envious. And we see them say they were prospering. But listen to what it says. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands, no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Yeah, they are all connected. They control everything. They don't go to jail. They are not in trouble like other people. It says here, it said they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. It says therefore, it says here, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them, violence covereth them as a garment. That's what you see. It's all about killing, raping, pillaging. And then they tell around and tell you that you are the savage. If you can see that the self-proclaimed white man is the savage, may the Lord destroy you utterly, man. If you're still in bed with these people here, may the Lord utterly destroy you. Yes. May the Lord utterly destroy you, man. We put curses on you, not just you and your entire family. If you put your trust in this system, if you want this wicked system to continue, may the Lord wipe you and your entire family off the face of this earth. And particularly the plague that is coming, may the Lord give it to you double. He said, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. That's what he just said. Look at what is happening all over the world. And these people are the one responsible for it. From Sudan to Congo, to Palestine, to Syria, to Iran. And these people, these devils are responsible for it. And you still want this kingdom to continue. If you are praying for the Lord to heal America, may the Lord bring down his wrath upon you. And the Lord is hearing our cries. So when we put those curses out, the Lord is hearing our cry. The Lord is going to make. The Lord is going to work. That's why I bring it upon you. If you are out there and you want this wicked kingdom to continue, may the Lord destroy you. It says, when I thought to know, we're going to jump to verse 16. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High. Then what? Understood I their end. Can you imagine not having this truth? The sanctuary, coming to Yahawashi, for the Lord to open your eyes to know that what? They are not going to get away with it. If you don't have this truth, you will think they're going to get away with it and it's going to eat you alive. But once you know that their judgment is coming, it gives what? Peace. Yahawashi said it best. He said, they that are troubled, he said, rest with us. Rest in Yahawashi. And he's the word. These devils are not going to get away with anything. He said, when I thought to know this, it was too painful for me until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High. Then understood I their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou casted them down into destruction. That is what is coming for them. He said, how are they brought into desolation as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors? That is what the Lord is bringing. And how are you going to find out if you're not in this truth? You're going to lose your mind. You're going to lose. If you don't have this, you're going to lose your mind. Because you're seeing all this wickedness and nothing is happening. And these are the people, they are into little boys. They have the Epstein files. They're doing all type of wickedness, but nobody's holding anybody accountable. But guess what? The judgment is coming. The Lord says here, he says here, how? Psalm 73:19, how are they brought into desolation as in the moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors. As a dream when one awaketh, so, O Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. The Lord is despising their image. That's why there ain't going to be no curse in the kingdom of heaven. After 1,000 years of slavery, hardcore captivity, they are going to be gathered up and burnt up. That's it, Obadiah 1:18. It said, thus my heart was grieved and I was pricked in my rein. So foolish was I and ignorant. I was as a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee. Thou hast holden me by my right hand. That's why the Lord brought us into the truth. Open our eyes to tell us that no, these devils are not going to get away with anything. Yeah, Trump is a hero. Netanyahu is a war hero. Yeah, that's what he said. And now listen to what he said yesterday. Trump sees Ukraine peace deal as a road to heaven. He wants to go to heaven, family. Let that sink in. When I saw this yesterday, it came through my feed yesterday, I laughed. Everybody's going to go to this. Anybody, when you die, everybody go to the spirit world, right? It tells you in the book of what? Ecclesiasticus chapter 12. Is it 12:7? Let's get it. Ecclesiastes. Everybody goes to the spirit world. But you coming back to upon this earth for your judgment. You go to the spirit world. It tells you, let's go. No, that's not Titus. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 7. Straight to the point. It says this. Then shall the what? Then shall the dust return to the earth. That's why you go, they bury you, you die, they bury as it was, and the spirit shall what? Return unto the Most High who gave it. Right? Everybody goes to the spirit world. Whether wicked or, but there's no such place as hell. Hell is the grave. Hell is condition play out on this earth. We are in our hell. Esau is in his heaven. The fact that you are the last to be hired. The fact that you're constantly sick. You can't pay your medical bill. That is hell for us. Okay? Working for this man. That is hell for us. The grave. That is hell. There's no place where somebody's going to bend forever. Even this wicked man here, once he pass away, he's going to the spirit world. He's going to heaven. He's going to face his judgment. And he's going to come on the planet and serve his judgment in a new body. Nobody dies. That spirit goes back and forth, back and forth. You keep coming back. It's called reincarnation. Just going to fly over somebody said, no, he's going to go to heaven, all right, but he's coming down. Why? He's an Edomite. Hardcore captivity for 1,000 years. Yes, Trump is an Edomite. The US president has said that he wants the fighting to stop to save the lives of both Russians and Ukrainians. And that's what they do. He's the one, this is American war. But somehow he's the one supplying the weapon. Now he's saying that he's the one going to stop the war so that he can go to heaven. Let that sink in. This man is raping your wife in front of you, killing, stabbing your children, and he's calling you savages. That's what he does. The US President Donald Trump has suggested that bringing the Ukraine conflict to an end could help secure his place in heaven as he pushes ahead with efforts to broker a peace settlement between Moscow and Kiev. Yeah. All the wickedness, they don't want to be held accountable. No, Esau doesn't want any accountability. The Lord said he required that which is past. The Lord says you're going to drink the cup. Lamentation chapter 4. Let me go there. Let me go there quickly. What am I doing? Lamentation 4. Let's read it. Lamentation chapter 4. Rejoice and be glad, Lamentation 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Thou dwellest in the land of Oz. The cup. What cup? Hardcore captivity. You're going to get it double. What we went through, you're going to get it double. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. Everybody's going to know that these people are the basis of men in the kingdom. The Lord continued to comfort Israel. He says here, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. You hear that? You people, you Negroes, Latinos, African American, Native American, this good news is for you. No more captivity. It tells on. It says, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Now he's about to get it. He's telling you. He's told you. He says, the previous article we shared with you, yeah, I am the one supplying the weapon. Netanyahu is a war hero, committing genocide, starving people to death, children, baby, mothers, pregnant women losing their babies. Yeah, he's a war hero. And you are praying for these people. You want America to continue. May the Lord destroy not just you, your entire generation. That's right. No, that's right. We are tired of this BS. Let me play this here. Just a quick news update. And then family. And then we're going to hit a couple of geopolitics news. And then we're going to wrap this up. When it's all said and done, I pray that you were edified. Shalom. Again, if I didn't say it, let's go.
Time to bring you your latest global update. We have it all here for you on RT International. A very warm welcome to you as you join us this Wednesday morning here in Moscow. Well, no US troops in Ukraine. This is the White House confirmation on Donald Trump's statement about American military presence there. But Washington says it may assist Europe in establishing so-called security guarantees for Kiev.
The president has definitively stated U.S. boots will not be on the ground in Ukraine, but we can certainly help in the coordination and perhaps provide other means of security guarantees to our European allies. The president understands security guarantees are crucially important to ensure a lasting peace, and he has directed his national security team to coordinate with our friends in Europe and also to continue to cooperate and discuss these matters with Ukraine and Russia as well.
Well, this comes after a top-level rush to Washington by Zelensky and European leaders following Trump and Putin holding their warm encounter in Alaska. The American president reiterated Ukraine won't be a NATO member and Kiev will never control Crimea again. He also said some European NATO members are planning to send troops to Ukraine, which, according to Trump, won't be an issue.
Yeah, they're going to send troops to Ukraine. And Russia is going to, that's right. This war is about to be turned up. Hear what America said, because you can't believe a word that comes out of these people's mouth. We are heading to World War III, and our stand hasn't changed. We believe what the Lord says. We are heading to World War III. Take heed to this message. Don't get too comfortable. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. We are at the end of this man's kingdom. Things are about to get progressively worse. And we are heading to Jacob's trouble. Microchip is ready to be implemented. And that time is coming. Okay, the hour of temptation, that is the microchip. It's coming upon the entire world. and he's going to test your faith. Okay, the Lord said the just shall live by his faith. It is very, very important for you to start building yourself up. Focus on the Lord. Okay, be in the spirit so that we don't fulfill the flesh, the will of the flesh. The flesh is wicked. When you want to do right, evil is always present. Okay, but we gotta always praying to the Lord, having conversation with the Lord, telling the Lord that, listen, I want to do right. That's why live, be in the spirit. We are about to go home. We are about to go. It says what? A Wall Street Journal. U.S. considering air support for European force in Ukraine. Yeah, they're going to join in. Russia have made it absolutely clear they don't want no NATO troop in Ukraine because they know what this is about. This is where it's all heading to. And they have ruled out sending. It says, listen, the U.S. is reportedly considering using its air power to support European security force in Ukraine. Russia says absolutely not. According to a report in the Wall Street Journal, as the publication reports, after Trump-Putin summit in Alaska, the U.S. president instructed the head of the U.S. Air Force, Dan Kane, to develop a plan with options for NATO-style security guarantees for this force, according to Western officials. Russia says absolutely not. According to the report, the U.S. Pentagon could deploy aircraft outside Ukraine to protect European troops. And the U.S. could also transport European troops and equipment with its transport aircraft provided ground-based air defense system to European forces and contribute military intelligence. Yeah, that's World War III for you. Listen to what Russia said, okay? We reiterated our position. We have repeatedly expressed that we reject any scenario that envisages the deployment of military contingent to Ukraine with the participation of NATO countries. Russia Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said on Tuesday, such a move, she said, could lead to an uncontrolled escalation of the conflict with unpredictable consequences. And that is what is coming. That's right. The end of all things is at hand. That is why the Lord is sending us out here day in and day out to warn you, to tell you, make sure that your house is in order. Repent. The end of the world is at the door. This is it. And let's go here to 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 6. It says here, then did I consider these things, and they were what? And they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, by none other. That's why it says 2nd Ezra chapter 9 also tells you that what? For like all that has a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. The Lord created it, and now it's about to end it. He created America. He gave America a beginning and an end. And we are the end. America is about to be lit up. Okay? This whole place is about to be set on fire. And it says here, again, verse 7, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob handheld first the heel of Esau. Why? I said, the heel of Esau. Esau is twin. This whole movie, this thing that we call life, is about two characters. The self-proclaimed white man and that's right, and his people, and then the children of Israel. That's right. The rest of the nations, they are just extras in this movie. They are not important. Okay? For verse 9, it said, for Esau is the end of the world. You hear that? The self-proclaimed white man is the end of the world. Let me repeat that again. For the self-proclaimed white man that you're looking at right now, Donald Trump and Netanyahu, that's right, they are the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we are the end of this man's kingdom. And it can't come fast enough for us. And with that, family, I hope you were edified. All praises, honor, and glory to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. I pray this message find all of you in perfect peace. Shalom.